Hey. What?
I don't know.
Welcome back, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
Y'all know what it is. It's your girl, Masani.
I'm Queenie.
And this is
Barber Babes.
Cutting Up.
My Barber Babes was a little.
You want to do it again?
You do it.
And this is Barber Babe.
Cutting up.
Okay. And today we cutting up in an actual barbershop.
Yes, we are in SMS Barber Loft
Mm-hmm.
in Atlanta, y'all.
Yeah.
We right here in Midtown, right off of Howell Mill Road.
Yep, right in the mix of things.
Mm-hmm.
It's very nice over here.
I love it.
It's a nice little area. So this is where Queenie has been working for the past, how long?
5 weeks.
Dang.
Longest visit I've had, and I'm thinking about extending it.
Okay. The time be flying.
It do.
5 weeks is crazy.
It do. I feel like I just got here
it's
yesterday.
been 2.
Literally.
Dang. But yeah, this is my first time in here. And it's really nice. There's a nice little aesthetic in here. The lights are nice. Like, it seems like a chill vibe. I like the music that was playing.
Mm-hmm.
It's got nice art in here, as you can see on the walls.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're in Atlanta, you need a haircut,
or you need to get somewhere stationed, pull up on Scott.
Yes.
Shout out to you.
Okay. But yes. So how you been liking it? You say you would stay longer, or you might stay longer.
Yeah, I really enjoy this space. Like the cleanliness, the professionalism, and just like the location itself, you know. This is the first time that I ever thought about being a manager for a shop.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I know. I don't know how that even came about, but it did.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just like the way that it's ran, and I just love this location. Like I almost considered moving back to Atlanta. It was real quick. It was real quick. Something happened, and I was like, never mind. Let me go take my butt back to Alabama. But
quick second.
Yeah. But yeah, it's cool.
Nice. Okay. Awesome. And we both doing new things. I just moved into my
Fellow.
Yes. So out the barbershop, okay, and into a suite. Me and a friend of mine, she does locks. We just moved into our suite literally, what was that, Monday? On Juneteenth.
Yeah.
And that happened by accident.
Like you weren't supposed to do it on June?
Yeah, we weren't even supposed to move this month. We were shooting for August, but the way it was set up, it was like we couldn't hold the suite for that long. It was like we would have had to pay them to hold it. And so it was like, if we're going to be paying y'all, then
we're going to occupy. Okay.
We're going to work.
Yeah.
So we were going to do Tuesday, but the start of their week is on Monday. So that just happened to be Juneteenth. And yeah, it's giving real blackety black.
I love that.
I like it.
I love that. So you're saying like it's giving real blackety black, like the other people in the shop?
Yeah, like the whole thing, the art like on the walls, throughout the space. Yeah, it's just giving like black art. I think it's only Black women that are working in there.
Where is this again?
So it's in Smyrna. What is I know I just moved there, but it's literally like 10 minutes from the Battery. It's called Vidney Salon Suites.
That sounds cute.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see.
She gonna come and help us with the aesthetics, because she done had her suite, so she know how to do that.
Brandon, I always think about like, well, not always, but I think like when you told me about it, I think about when we first met and we were talking about like how long you seen yourself in your location and what did you see next. So you're probably just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm chilling.
Yep. I didn't think I would even, because the suite was really not on my mind for a while. But I'm still with somebody, so I'm not in there completely by myself. But yeah, it's a lot less people.
Yeah.
Like one of my clients, he came, he was like, dang, the spots you going to just getting smaller and smaller. I'm like, yep, less people.
But how was the conversation?
With who?
Like with your client in there? Was T in there?
Yeah. T was in there. And it was cool. Like, we're both cool people. We kind of got like a similar vibe going on. So yeah, it was straight. Like nothing really too different. Because my clients, they don't even they don't be that much in barbershop conversation. Like it really just be us talking for the most part.
Yeah, so it's nothing.
I have a couple clients who,
join in.
Yeah, who join in, but yeah.
This is off topic, but you know how like when you go to church and like your dress is too short, so you need to put that little. But I need one of them. Cause I ain't wore this outfit in 2 years, and I just feel like
girl been in the gym, so
baby, it's
things are getting smaller and smaller.
If we got a cloth in here. Jesus.
Oh gosh, you got the sleeves though.
The sleeves is not sleeving.
Y'all focus on what y'all supposed to.
If anybody hears me though, if y'all would want to bring me a cape, that'd be wonderful.
Seriously,
I greatly appreciate it. Run, seriously. What we gonna
do? Today we drinking wine out the cans.
Yeah, so we got some Black Girl Magic. And it's 12.5%, y'all. I don't know why we're sponsoring, why we're marketing this, but who cares?
I don't know if we said the name, but y'all might have seen it anyway.
It's okay.
But we supporting Black-owned business, okay? That's what we like to do.
This is true.
And
you always do a good transition.
We got the segue. Speaking of supporting Black-owned, literally, this might have been at the last shop I was in. Because y'all know I done been in about 3 in the past few months, all in this year. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. But the last one I was in, one of the things we went back and forth about a lot was this idea of Black-owned business and emphasizing Black-owned business. And when people are Black and own a business, I guess using that to their advantage. There were some people in the shop who were on the side of like, when you label your business as Black-owned, you are, I guess, 1, limiting yourself, and 2, maybe like turning certain people away when you label it as that. And then on the other side, my side.
She gonna tell you what she's saying.
The side I'm on, I see absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's like calling my business Black-owned, which it is to me more of a sense of pride in being Black and owning a business, knowing the history of our people.
Oh yeah, that's good.
And it's like, I don't understand why me being prideful in that would turn anybody away. And if it does, then I don't want you in my business.
We don't want you.
So like, I don't know. And some people feel like there's a stereotype when it comes to Black business too. Like, Black businesses sometimes aren't the most professional, be too expensive. Like, people have all these thoughts and judgments when it comes to
Black businesses.
Black businesses.
But I think like, okay, so I do understand when people say like you could be boxing yourself in as labeling your business a Black owned business, only because there's no other ethnicity that has to say that this is a white owned business, this is an Asian owned business, this is a Jewish owned business. You know, Black people are the only ones who have to say that. And but I do understand from the standpoint of where we came from,
right,
and just being proud of being able to own a business.
right.
So I definitely understand both standpoints. I think that us having like the like, you know, like the reputation of like being overpriced and like low customer service, providing low service or quality, like I think that that's kind of trash.
Yeah.
And I don't think that is true. I think that there's a lot of small Black businesses that are providing excellent service and quality, you know, but it is, I have been to plenty of Black businesses that are not providing that. And then so the real conversation is, if we are talking about a community that we're proud of, are we just saying like, are we going to these businesses and then bashing them?
Right.
Or are we going to these businesses and then giving them critiques?
Help.
You know?
Yeah.
Even if it's like, even if sometimes you do have to like kind of buck up, you know, and say like, yo, like this is not how you treat people.
Right.
Like even if you have to do that, like I feel like we have to be able to hold each other accountable, and we have to be able to not just talk about the businesses to other people. We have to talk about the businesses to the businesses.
Yeah. And you know, we always talk about like grace. Like we talk a lot about giving ourselves grace, but I'm sure it's harder to give other people grace,
but
especially when it comes to spending money. Like,
ooh, okay,
you know, if I'm spending my money,
it's like, baby, you want these $50, don't you? Jesus.
It's very hard to be graceful with people when you are spending your dollars, but there still has to be some level of understanding that like this is still somewhat new for us. Like, so
that's very valid.
Yeah, you can't expect us to have it all the way together when we still in the learning process. And it's like also resources, like
that's why things are more expensive. Yeah,
exactly. Our resources are more limited. So it's like, and a lot of people, like, one of the people in the shop, he was like, oh, we always kind of just use like excuses. And it's like, yeah, some people maybe, but there is truth.
There's very, very much so truth to
like, like you can't deny that there's truth to certain things. Like you can't deny that this is a new thing, that like we only been free for a certain amount of time.
And we're experiencing being business owners and having money. Like actually being able to say, oh, I made such and such in a week, and then just not feel like I want to go spend this.
Right.
Because there's so much, you know, I mean, that's a whole different conversation. But
no, but that's real.
That's very true. Like
yeah.
we're very new to this, and we do deserve to give each other grace. But I think to expect grace from anybody outside of your community is like, I just feel like that's not productive. Like, and not to say that we can't get it from them, but I feel like if we want grace, it starts with us giving grace to each other in our community.
Say it again.
Yeah. We can't be like, oh well, we want you to treat us like this. Like, and I know this is probably gonna turn a little head. Okay. But like I think it goes like back to like all the labels that we've created as Black people, right? I think Black Lives Matter was like a wittiful creation when it first
and a lot of people
came
have
about,
opinions
right?
About.
And I think when it was hijacked within the last few years, and I think that in us stating that Black Lives Matter, we're trying to get everybody else to believe that. But do we believe that? as a community.
Right.
And that's where it starts.
Yeah.
There's literally no way that we can grow or become a collective if we don't understand that as a group.
Yes. And we are really the quickest to like shun each other or like talk down on each other, like the quickest. Like, this is why I don't follow the Shade Room no more, because it blows me like how much people do it. Like
it's entertainment at this point.
Yeah. And it's like, bro, this is like way off or complete opposite of what it is we need to be doing. And it's like, yeah, I feel like people be more like, enjoy entertainment more than actually, trying to do something productive and solve the problem. Like, I don't know, like if it makes people feel better about themselves by doing that. Because I just feel like if you're somebody who are happy with your life and what you got going on, then you're not going to be one of the people in the comments talking trash about the next person.
That's very true.
But it's
so easy to get caught up in that, like in that world, because it's literally all around us. And so I think that, like, how do we, I guess, because we're talking about like community, how do we change the dynamic of what the Black community looks like? You know what I mean? Because we can sit, like, we see it all day. Like, we see people who want change and who are activists, right? And then we see people who are like people in the Shade Room, who they are very pivotal in the Black community right now, but it's not pivotal in a way that's going to be productive to us. So, like, how are we going to be able to move forward with these two, I guess, things happening simultaneously?
So I want to ask, like, do you think Black people specifically, who are in higher spaces or like who have certain resources or certain amounts of money, do you feel like they have some sort of a responsibility being in those positions? Or do you think Black people should have sort of a freedom to kind of do what it is they want to do?
Dang.
Yeah. Because some people feel like, well, maybe I just want to take care of my family.
Yeah.
And I can't be mad at the person that's just trying to take care of their family. But it's like, that just is going back to, looking out for yourself.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking to even think about, to be honest. Because it's like, it is a lot of like people in the higher up, like, like people who are like making money, who have like a lot of status, that are very individualistic when it comes to their thinking in the Black community. And we go back to the conversations of like, well, I mean, we shouldn't even be talking about like Black community. It should just be people. Like, we should just be able to exist together. And while that's true, I just think that, like, not foundation is the key to a lot of things. You know what I mean? And without a foundation, you're always going to fall.
Yeah.
It's not going to be sustainable.
That was the caption on today's post. I don't know if you seen it.
But what post? Oh, for real?
Ours? Yes. Yeah. Literally. That was caption.
No, yeah, that's real. Yeah. Like, and so I can understand being so caught up in a community where I do feel like majority of Black people don't really like Black people. Like, and not to say that they're just going out here, I was about to say killing each other, but
yeah,
some of that's happening too.
Yeah. And if you're not one of those people and you get to a certain level, you have a certain amount of money, you are going to move away from the Black people.
That's what I'm saying. So like I can understand that part of it, where it's just like, I'm tired of dealing with that. Like, I'm tired of trying to fight for a community that don't care about me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I just want to get out and get my family out.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's just so.
It's a tough battle.
Tough.
It is a tough battle.
That's tough.
I know me personally, like when I get, when I get my house and I am settling on where I want to live and stay, I want it to be around my people.
That's it. Because one thing I can't do.
No,
literally none. It just feels way different. I don't care if it's a crackhead at the gas station talking to me. That feels better going into that neighborhood
to me
than, going into some of these other neighborhoods. I just leave it at that.
Yeah, to me.
Yeah.
Personally. But that is a huge battle because, like, I understand both sides of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, for sure.
But it's like, if we not helping each other, I don't know how we're ever gonna flip the script or change the narrative. And it's like, with the whole labeling yourself as Black owned, that limiting you, it's like the other, other ethnicities and other races, they have like actual communities though.
Exactly.
And that's the only difference. Exactly. Like, they might not have, it plastered on whatever their business is, right. But y'all have like actual physical communities.
When you go in there, where you at? You don't have to ask a question.
Don't have to ask nobody.
And that's for every community except for ours.
Unless it's the hood.
Well, yeah, you in the hood.
All we got is the hood.
That's very true. Look, one day, when you go to the hood, you're there, and you be trying to find the next way out. Unless you're from there.
It's the hood with the chicken spots and whatnot. Yes. And it's like, the unfortunate thing is when those areas get fixed up, our people are
pushed out.
So it's like,
what do we do?
Yeah. What do we do?
I always, like, anytime I have these conversations, I always talk about like ants to grasshoppers. I'm sure we talked about it before. Like, I feel like if we're looking at other ethnicities, mm-hmm. They are grasshoppers. And if we're looking at the Black community, we're ants, right? Ants together could take on any grasshopper. They could take on a person, okay?
Yeah.
Ants apart, they're like, I mean, you can smush it with your finger. You know what I mean?
I like that analogy.
And so I think that if the Black community could understand what we could do together, like, not even considering, just like not considering that we are trying to separate ourselves, not considering all the things that have happened to us or all the things that we've done to ourselves. Like, if we just take all of that out and just say, let's just stick together.
Yeah.
Let's just see what happens when we decide to all stick together as ants.
Yeah.
And how powerful that could be.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like a lot of pride that has to be put aside. It's a lot of, and like it goes back to what you said. Like, if you're truly happy, like a lot of these situations and, commenting and complaining, like a lot of that wouldn't really take place as much, right? So if you're going into a Black-owned business, if you are under the impression that you're sticking together because you're understanding that you're up against grasshoppers, even if you don't like the way that the service is, like, hey, let me pull you to the side. Let me talk. Or even if you gotta, like I said, even if you gotta put your chest out a little bit, like, do it in a manner where you want them to be better when you leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And if you're the person receiving that, whatever the criticism is, it's really just a lot of ego. Like,
it's so much ego.
It's so much ego. Like, we have to learn how to simmer down, because like, somebody may give you criticism, and like you might be like, well, if I was a white person, would you come to me and say the same thing? But it's like,
what does that have to do
exactly
with the tea in China? I don't what like when you think about, and I heard something about racism the other day, and it was like, you can't be mad at quote unquote a certain group of people for being racist. They're literally just keeping things in their culture and in their group. And the only reason why we feel some type of way about that is because we don't have that. But we're able to create that. Like, we should also be keeping things in our culture and in our group.
Yeah.
And that's the same for that. Not necessarily do I have to, like, why would the conversation when I criticize how you're running your business to help you be, well, you wouldn't say that to a white person. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Brother? My sister? Like,
you are exactly right.
Yes. So we just have to change the dynamic. And you're right. Like, we do lead a lot with ego. And it's so easy to lead with ego because we're so used to doing that.
Yeah.
But it's like, if we can just take that aspect out, like, and this is maybe a little bit off topic, but a white person could literally be fighting another white person verbally and say, fuck you, Bill.
Why is they mad at me, Bill?
He can say, fuck you, Bill. And Bill's going to walk away and be like, no, fuck you, Steph. And that's it. You say fuck you to a black person, they is ready to jump on you.
Oh my god.
And maybe shoot you.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it's all led with ego. Like, we're not free to express our emotions to each other. We're not free to be vulnerable with each other without it being a test of who's more powerful.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
who's
the
real
biggest
and who's not.
Like,
it's silly. It is all real silly. And it's funny because a couple of days ago, I had cut this girl's hair. She's a barber too. And she came with her friend who I know too. And like, so, barbers, they be real particular when they get their haircuts because they're barbers. Right. So like, she's like in the mirror, she's like, yeah, like, I need to make sure you do that. Like, she's being like real particular.
That sound like Tone.
Tone is definitely like that too. Tone. Yes. And I don't use enhancements. This girl, she whipped out her spray. She was like, here, use it. Like, she was not playing. And her friend is like, oh no, like, this could not be me. Like, if I was you talking about me, she was like, I would be so irritated the whole time. I'm like, okay, yeah, girl, whatever you need. I used the hand since I was like, I did the whole thing. Yeah. Like, I had no problem with it. Like, I'm like, whatever it is you want, let me know. But it's like, some people have that pride where it's like,
but you're providing a service. Like,
even in that, like,
you just provide a service.
That is it. That's all. You're here to give the person what it is that they want. But even with that, some people have a lot of pride and a lot of ego. Like, I've been doing this.
You ain't gonna tell me how to cut your hair. Okay.
Like, take learning experience. Like, we need to be more open to learning.
That's the word.
Yeah, because that's how we're gonna get better. So
I just feel like there's so much more to be said.
So much more.
Like, we didn't even scratch the surface. Jesus.
Oh, it's about to be a part 2.
It gotta be a part 2. They said we gotta go, y'all.
Seriously, that was 30 minutes? I thought it was 15.
Look at this. Once we get to going, we about to, yeah. Okay.
It is Juneteenth month.
That girl said she need to wear her dashiki.
She said this close enough.
It is.
But all right, y'all. We're coming back with part 2.
Yeah, we'll be right back, actually.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.